Morning, good morning, and welcome to the latest episode of Tea with Milk. So today I'm presenting live from London Zoo. We've got some ostriches, we've got some kangaroos. It's absolutely stunning and fascinating. So anyone who comes to London, you have to check the London Zoo out. So today what I'll be doing, I'll be answering 6 questions centered around how you can enhance and make the most out of your university experience and how to conquer some of the challenges that we face as university students. So the first question is, what is your main learning outcome? So I believe that university is much more than just about education. It's about entering and leaving as a more well-rounded person and having learned many skills which will stand you in good stead for a lifetime. So for example, when you go to university, you learn how to socialize, and this is a skill which is very underrated, because learning how to adapt to different types of people, to talk to different types of people, and to adjust, and that adaptability is a key skill. And also when you're at university, you learn about a lot of things and you get to broaden your horizons because you come across different types of people who have different experiences, and you really get to make the most out of it. For example, it was through university and then the British government that I was able to come to Indonesia and do my placement, and I feel as though that helped me as a person and as an individual, and it taught me a lot. So the main learning outcome is, of course, to do your degree and to get a job, but in terms of learning, in terms of the whole experience at university, I believe the key thing is to go there and emerge as a much stronger, well-rounded person after your degree. So we're here with the gibbons now. So now, the second question is, what is the core of your learning strategy? So I think it's pretty simple. There's a quote which says, don't mistake movement for progress. So don't mistake movement for progress. So what that means is everyone learns and everyone sets aside like, oh, I'm going to revise this long I'm going to spend a week revising this for this exam, I'm going to spend 3 weeks doing the essay. But that's not efficient. What you must do is break everything down and have clear objectives. So for example, if I go to the library every day, before I go, I'll know exactly what it is that I need to do, and I won't leave until it's done. And sometimes it means that you have to spend the whole day in the library, or sometimes it might mean that you might get it done within a couple of hours. But it's about learning to be efficient. So for example, if you've got an essay or some coursework or dissertation, instead of saying, oh, I've got 3 weeks spare now, break it down and say, okay, I can get it done in a week or 2, or allocate like a specific time for it, and then work within that time period. So you might spend the first 2 days doing research and reading about it and making your plan, and then once you've made your plan, you know exactly what you need to do. And so it's all about efficient learning and being efficient within your education, because at the end of the day, once we come to exam time, everyone is able to do everything in a very short time because you have no other option. So when you have the time, make sure you utilize that time, and this will also allow you to create that key balance. So it's all about efficient learning. Right, so the third question is, how do you balance between university and other things, or study and other things? And I think a key part of university is immersing yourself in everything. So you should take part in societies, you should do volunteering things, you should do as much work experience as you can. Because if you say you don't have time now, life's only going to keep getting more and more busy. And that's something which I've learned. I mean, I'm still trying to manage to keep a balance between things. But for example, I have a lot of friends who every week they volunteer for this charity, and they work with young children who come from socioeconomically deprived areas. And I've spoken to them a lot of the time. Sometimes they feel like cancelling on a weekly session, or they feel like leaving the charity. But that's not purely because the workload at university is a lot. But then often they find that that is what actually helps them, because it's making a commitment. And making a commitment makes you a reliable person. That's something that you will need, a key skill which again you will need once you leave university and you enter the workforce. So it's about learning how to balance all your different commitments, your education, and tying that kind of into one and creating a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Because again, if you can't commit now, life will only keep getting more busy. So the next question is, have I faced a trade-off between leisure time and education, and do I sacrifice that leisure time in order to study? Now, the thing about studies is, it's meant to be enjoyable, and a lot of the time when we're studying, we forget that we're meant to be enjoying the work that we're doing and acquiring that newfound knowledge. So I think what it is very important to create an environment whereby, for example, if you go to the library is there to study, the library is not for you to go and have fun. But going out with your friends or staying at home, that's your chill time, that's your relaxing time. So that's when you should be at home enjoying, not thinking about, oh, I have to go and study. So create the right environment for yourself where you can go there, you can relax, and you can switch off. And there's this saying that don't take out the time to create the life that you want. Create the life that you want, and the time will take out itself. So what that means is that, for example, if you know that you want to create a nice and balanced life where you can study and you can relax and you can have time to yourself, then instead of taking a longer period or duration of time to do something, you might do it within the shortest span. So for example, if you know, okay, on the weekend I have to go and play sports with my friends, then you will work hard Monday to Friday. So again, allocate that time. Okay, Monday to Friday, if that works for you studying, then you study, and the weekend is your relaxing time. So, but this trade-off is something that everyone faces at times, and sometimes you can't keep that social life. So for example, when it comes to exam time, you kind of just have to retreat, you have to do your work, and that's fine too. But try to keep that balance as much as you can, because at the end of the day, it's all about keeping healthy and being happy. So now I want to introduce you. I'm Yusuf, and this is Yusuf Jr. Just in the background, having some fun. No, so it's a beautiful line. Now the next question is, do you find learning rewarding? And I guess that ties into the question of, a wider question of, do you value education? Now for me, education is key and knowledge is truly power. The thing is, we're in a world where often people don't understand things because they don't take the time out to understand those things. But through learning, we can learn about different people, different cultures, how the world works, and really make an impact. So guys, as you can tell, I've got my rain poncho back on because it started raining again. London, British weather, you just cannot trust it. Even if you come in summer, make sure you pack your umbrellas. So as you can see, I've got the beautiful flamingos at the back. Now, the last question to finish off in this beautiful weather is, do I ever find myself losing focus, and how do I get myself back on track? Now the thing is, every student is victim of procrastination. Let's just face it, we never stay focused 365 days a year or 24 hours of the day. But this is where you must kind of take into account your long-term goals. So this is where discipline comes in. Because when you're motivation, the difference between motivation and discipline is, when you're motivated to do something, you pursue something intensely, you all of a sudden change your behavior to pursue it. So for example, if you say, oh, I want to lose weight, you'll start dieting, you'll start going to the gym, but that doesn't last very long. What you need is discipline, long-term goals, and long-term visualization. So when I go off track, I remind myself, okay, why am I doing this degree? Why do I want to study? What do I want to gain from this? And where do I want to end up? We all have this weather, guys, it's random filming, but we all have these goals and aspirations in life. We want to get somewhere. So you should always have a mental image in your head every day of where you want to be. And if your today is not contributing to your tomorrow, then you're not doing something right. But again, that balance is key. But just to finish off, education, like, focus on it, make the most of it, and make the most of your experience. Because the most successful people are those who can think ahead. So you know, everyone goes through life, and then you think, oh, I wish I could have done this differently, or I wish. So you don't want to have any regrets. So just, again, immerse yourself in education, make the most of it, because it's what's going to make you successful and aware in life, and going to lead to just a better experience in this lifetime. So I hope that everyone's healthy and happy. I hope that this has made some sort of sense. But just keep your eye on the bullseye. So the first question is, what is your main learning? What's the question?